warm welcome to a special edition of Leaders of Tomorrow Season 10. I'm Ritvika Gupta. A decade ago, nobody could have predicted that one day millions of people would be wearing a watch that not only tells the time but reads messages, plays music and tracks health. In just a few years, wearable technology has gone from being non-existent to being omnipresent. What are the trends like and why should your business invest in wearable technology? We'll find out today in a conversation with two leading players in the smart wearable space, Boat and Noise. One of India's fastest growing audio and wearable brands, Boat offers a product portfolio ranging from audio gear, smart wearables, mobile accessories and much more, targeted at a young audience within India. Imagine Marketing Services, which does business as Boat, was incorporated in November 2013 by co-founders Sameer Mehta and Aman Gupta. To understand the industry better, we'll be in conversation today with Sameer Mehta, co-founder and chief product officer, Imagine Marketing. Sameer has also set up the brand's very own R&D department called Boat Labs to further up the tech game. Thank you so much, Sameer, for joining us today.
Thank you, Ritvika, for having me on this show. It's a pleasure to be talking to you.
So I would first like to begin by really asking you to take us through the journey of Boat since its inception. And in fact, I'm curious to know about the name as well, Boat. Maybe you could start from there.
Sure. So our journey's been very interesting, right? So me and Aman don't know each other from Adam. We've met by chance. Somebody actually introduced us to each other. And that's where we kind of met, and 3 days later we formed the company. So it's been a fantastic journey. I mean, it's a lot of luck, it's a lot of hard work that's actually gone into making of this company. We've been at it since 2016, since we formed the brand, and in 2022 we've really we've done really well for ourselves. We've grown the Indian audio market per se, and we're the leaders in the space. So we're very proud of what we've achieved. But there's a lot of work that is yet to be done. And we hope that we can keep continuing the work that we've done over in the future, and make India proud. So that's our journey. While it comes to the brand name Boat, right? So Boat is essentially when you're sailing, right? You're disconnected from the land. You're disconnected from people. You're in your own zone. So whenever you read Boat, you read it with the tagline which says Boat plug into Nirvana. So when you plug into our music, you go into a state of Nirvana. And that's the connotation of how the Boat name came about.
That's very interesting. So when it comes to the audio market, Boat has remained one of the top players. Tell me, what do you think you did right that has allowed the brand to gain the kind of traction that it has today?
Well, I wouldn't actually point my finger at one thing. There are multiple things that we've done right. Our marketing is fantastic. We've created an aspirational brand. Along with marketing, we've created the right products for the Indian consumers, right? If you look at, pre-Boat, a lot of the audio brands would focus on the Europe market or the US markets and bring those international line of products into India and then sell them here. But nobody was making products for India, right? India is a very different country. Our music is different. The kind of the kind of music we listen to is very different. With the kind of sound architecture that we need is completely different. So we focused on that, and we also focused on price and quality, right? Because quality is very, very important to an Indian consumer. We like products that last long, which are feature rich and are best in class in quality at the right price. So we focused on these 3 or 4 things, and I think that's where we hit it right on the spot. We've also invested a lot in R&D over the last 3-4 years. We've put an emphasis that we want to make a differentiated product and not some regular run-of-the-mill cookie-cutter products which are available in China. So we put emphasis that we created our own products, and that's why we have the leadership that we do.
Right. Sameer, do you think the pandemic had any role to play when it comes to the growing demand for your audio devices and wearable tech devices?
No, absolutely. I think the pandemic helped us. It was a boon for us. Of course, it's not the right thing to say because a lot of people actually lost their lives over this. But with pandemic, work from home actually became very big. So everybody needed a headphone or a earphone to be working from home. Then there was no entertainment, so entertainment home. So our sound bars and all of those things started selling well. Right. And in fact, one of the things that we noticed, we were about to get into wearables just about when the pandemic hit, and we thought that demand would taper, right? Because people are not going out, they're not exercising, they're not leading a active lifestyle, and that's why wearables wouldn't do well. But it is so counterintuitive that people actually started focusing on their health much more, and that's where the wearable market, if you look at it, has grown leaps and bounds over the last 2 years. Right. And again, it's a testament of the Indian consumer also understanding that hey, health is important, and we bringing in the right set of products and making it affordable for the customers to make that choice.
Right. I want to zoom out a little bit. I want to talk about the wearable tech space, and how that is unfolding in India. Where do you think India stands when it comes to the West, especially when it comes to ear devices and wearable tech devices?
So wearable tech is fairly new to this country. Of course, the 1% of the 1% were using the Apples and the Fitbits of the world, right? But not everybody can afford those products. So we are at the start of our wearable journey, right? Currently, I think, a lot of people are just buying it as a fancy device or looking at your heart rate at the most or changing watch faces, right? That's where we are in the current journey. But the journey will change, right? Once people start using it, they realize that it can make their lives better, it can make them more active, it can, give you nudges that you're not working out, you're not sleeping well. As soon as you start doing all of those things, right, it's a degree of evolution, right? You're at the start of the journey, but as you go along, people will realize that what are the things that are more important. Currently, it's more of a lifestyle product, but over a period of time, it will become a true indicative product which actually helps you to make your life better, makes you more active and more healthier. So that's where it will go. But it's a journey that we'll have to take over, the next 2-3 years.
So do you agree that players in this segment need to probably focus on, positioning wearables as something not, trendy and, cool only, but also focus on their usability in that sense?
So absolutely. So what needs to be done is essentially right now, like I said, right, most of the people are just buying it as a trendy watch or a replacement to an analog watch. Once they start using it, right, they understand the benefits of it, and the more information and more decisive information that you can give to the customer, which he can act on. That is something that's going to be a part of that journey, right? And once we start doing that, people will realize that, wearables are more than, just your funky gadget that you're wearing on your wrist. It's more a health indicator, and that's where the industry will go. We've actually made tremendous amounts of investments in this space. I can't talk about it a lot because we filed our DRHP. But we made a good amount of investments. We have about 120 engineers working only on our wearable tech. So we see this space to be evolving over the next 3-4 years from being a lifestyle product to being a health product.
Right. How do you think businesses can, adopt wearable tech, into their operations, the way they're interacting with their employees, stakeholders, consumers? Is there a scope for businesses to kind of get wearables involved in their daily operations and stuff?
So there is a lot you can do with wearable tech, right? But it's going to be connected to a mobile, so you can do a lot more, right? Like one of the new things coming up is contactless payment, right? People don't want to use their cards. You can have an NFC tag in your watch, and you can do contactless payments, at your shopping places or your metros or your buses. You could probably have contactless people attendance system or their health parameters, right? Yeah. So given the situation we are in, which is essentially COVID, right, you'd probably be able to centrally monitor all your entire team and see who's not doing well, and probably tell them to rest at home if they have a temperature or if the SpO2 is not right, in order to safeguard the others. So there's a lot of use cases on wearable tech. Like I said, we're just at the start of this journey. There's a lot more that you can do, right? You can probably buy your movie tickets and scan your watch and get into a movie hall, right? So there's a lot more that can be done there. It's about just making sure that you're going on the journey and you're doing the right things.
Right. Coming back to boat, tell us about your expansion plans, and are there any products that you're excited about?
There are exciting plans. There are things that are in works that will take us to where we want to be. But essentially, growth is our mantra. We'll keep focusing on growth, but profitable growth is something that we believe in. So we'll kind of keep balancing both of these things as we go along.
Right. And finally, what do you think are some of the trends that are going to dominate this segment in the years to come?
So on the audio side, there's a lot of stuff happening, right? LE audio is coming, spatial audio is coming, 3D head tracking is coming, high quality, CD quality sound is coming. So all of those things are very, very exciting. A large part of the chip manufacturers whom we work with are, working on this tech currently, and over a period of time, you will see the transition from a normal Bluetooth headphone to something that you would love and cherish. You'll get really amazing high quality sound. You'll probably get best in class gaming features. So all of that is coming, and that's going to be very exciting. The next 1 or 2 years are very exciting for us.
Well, looking forward. Thank you so much, Samir. It's time now for a quick break. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Leaders of Tomorrow Season 10. And in this segment, I'll be chatting with Amit Khatri, co-founder and MD Noise, to understand how the future of wearable tech is going to look like in India. Listen in. Noise is one of India's leading tech brands making lifestyle products such as smartwatches, wireless audible gears, and now even smart eyewear. The company was set up by cousins Amit Khatri and Gaurav Khatri, who believe that there is a noise within each one of us that's constantly pushing us to follow our dreams. We'll now be in conversation with Amit Khatri, co-founder of Noise, who joins us from his office in Gurugram. At Noise, Amit drives product vision and strategy, shaping business aesthetics and innovation in technology. Let me start from the very beginning. Smart wearables, smart watches, smart clothing, these are relatively new technologies that are just beginning to broach the surface. So let's begin by, talking about how did you get interested in this field?
Ritvika, when we started, we realized that there was a transformation which was happening. I mean, we were moving from feature phone to smartphones, and as user, we were spending more and more time on our devices. So that's how we realized that if you need to be in this space, it has to be something connected. And that's what we started Noise at that moment. And now, and when you look at it, 2 years back, people used to spend close to 3.7 hours on mobile phone. Now, last year, I think the data published was 4.5 hours per day we spend on mobile phones. And actually on all connected devices, if you put all together, so 8 hours we spend in total. So I think connected devices, we realized that would be the play for future, and that's how we went into it.
So Noise is a fairly new company. I guess you founded in 2014, and you started off selling mobile covers and accessories, if I'm not wrong. And now you're building smart wearables. So tell us what convinced you that this shift is going to be worthwhile.
So, when we started mobile accessories, but we realized that that category has got low indulgence, and that boom was happening from feature to smartphone. We realized that if the business has to be sustainable, it has to be into categories which has got more which can engage more to the user, and that's how we started in this space. And another part, as brand, we were early movers. I mean, we picked up the trends very early in both in wearable and hearable. So India as a country is under penetrated in that space. If you look at right now, also we under penetrated. So definitely it was an area where the market was expected to explode.
Right. Just picking up from what you said, like the market in India, even though it is booming right now, but the smart wearable industry in India is still a relatively very small space even today. Tell me, what are the opportunities do you see in this space?
So definitely, Ritvika, this was a smaller industry. I mean, smaller scale a while back, but now if you look at it, India is the fastest growing market in the space. I mean, last year we shipped maybe 12 million odd wearable devices and wrist wearable, and this year that is expected to touch India is at 1.5% penetration vis-a-vis smartphone. China is in double digit 18 plus, and US is 30% plus. So if you look benchmark India, we still have a lot of room to grow. So I mean, we feel it's the fastest growing segment now in the space.
Amit, do you think smart technology can also benefit startups, entrepreneurs, and independent business owners? And when do you think a business should decide that it's time for them to invest in smart wearables?
So smart wearables, I mean, so let's look at it. We are into a connected ecosystem now. I mean, now whenever we go, I mean, we are almost on one of the devices most of the time. And gradually watches would take a high ground because they will have a lot wireless connectivity also. We see wearable technologies playing a big part in industrial usage actually. If you look at it, I mean, a lot of companies have adopted wearable technologies for productivity purpose. And post-COVID, what has happened that this technology can tell you also that what is the health parameter of the employer they are working in. So it has got a strong use case in industrial area.
So, Amit, there seems to be much potential and good that can come of smart wearables. However, do you worry that some of these will create a dependency on technology? And is it necessarily a bad thing?
They're making meaningful impact to it. Wearable cannot be just looked at a technology piece. First, they're making our life easier. You can access everything on a tap. Second, the kind of sensors evolution which is happening, you can do a lot more with wearable. I mean, the kind of data they are throwing, I mean, you can track your HRV, temperature, in COVID, SpO2 was, everybody wanted to track, then ECG is coming in, gradually blood sugar would come. So the kind of real-time data and analytics, what you will get, it will become actually an integral part and would make our lives better.
All right. So what do you think is the future of wearable tech going to look like in India specifically?
So right now, India is at the adoption phase. We as country are first-time users. So most of the users we feel are testing the devices, but in the coming time, the technology is evolving very fast. Right now, we are not able to do much with the devices, but maybe once the 5G connectivity would come in and cellular connectivity would come in, it will, and when the OS would come in on the watches, it will try to take some of the mind share from the what do you call phone space.
Amit, tell us a little bit about what being an entrepreneur means to you. And when you look back at your journey, what would you say you did right that allowed you to achieve what you have today?
So Ritvika, whenever as an entrepreneur, we start a business, the first goal is to survive actually when you start first. But gradually of late, we've realized that it is more important to give back to the society. So,
Right.
I mean, we as organization, I'm proud that as an entrepreneur, we are able to create products which are able to, giving meaningful impact to the society. And what went right for us, it's what we call Suno Dil Ka Shor. So we wanted to do it and we just went ahead with it.
Right. So tell us, what can we expect from Noise? Because I just heard that you have also launched a smart eyewear. So that's been added to your portfolio very recently. So tell me a little bit about that.
So Ritvika, as brand, we have focused towards customer first. So as brand, we really believe that a product need to solve a need case for a consumer. And second, we feel innovation is something what would drive Noise in the coming times. So we as brand, we have launched maybe 9 odd industry first projects, and Noise Labs is an incubation. We have incubated Noise Labs so that we could play and experiment with newer technologies. So first product we launched was smart eyewear, and honestly got a very good response out of consumers. I mean, you don't need to. It could replace your eyewear and then an earphone both. So Noise Labs is maybe technologies for the future. We would experiment 2-3 products in a year maybe, and then when the technology matures, we'll pull back to the Noise ecosystem.
Right. Amit, what would be your advice to smaller businesses and entrepreneurs who want to get into this space, this wearable tech space, and also grow in the industry?
There will be space for a lot of brands in this space, but more importantly, there is no shortcut to success. So you need to give your 100%. I personally believe that if you come with a dedication and passion to do it, they will find the space.
And are there some trends that you're excited about in this segment in the coming years?
Yes, definitely, Ritvika. We feel 2 exciting trends. First of all, we expect the way 5G would come, the device is going to become more smaller. The data transfer is going to happen so fast that we'll get real-time insights. I mean, let's say a runner can get a real-time insight, what is his pace or what he need to do, improve on that, or similarly goes on to the health part. So it's going to drastically change the way we look at wearables. So 5G in the mobile connectivity OS, these are 2-3 good trends to watch.
All right. All the best, Amit. I look forward to chatting with you about this soon again.
Thank you so much, Ratika. Thanks for having me here.
It's now time to take a quick look at our CXO diary, where I asked both Samir and Amit the same set of quick-fire questions. Listen into what they had to say.
Hustling and planning.
Suno Dil Ka Shor. Do what you listen to the inner noise.
Leading by example.
Ability to inspire people.
While I'm at work and while I'm playing with my child.
Early morning.
The last book I read was Bottle of Lies.
I read last book called Limitless by Jim Quick.
Micromanaging.
I am, as founders, I'm very impatient.
To build $1 billion company.
I enjoy what I do, so that's the key motivation for me.
Elon Musk.
MS Dhoni, the way he has built a team and got the maximum out of it.
Hard to say, but LinkedIn, I would say that.
LinkedIn.
It's a part of the process.
Money is important, but not everything for us.
spending a lot of time with my child and making sure that I'm a good father.
Spending time with family.
And that's a wrap on this edition of Leaders of Tomorrow Season 10. We hope you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you and goodbye.